Yeah, first corporate on the show, we have Borosil Renewables. They have settled dues for its German step-down subsidiary, GmbH. To help us out with what does this mean and how do the books look now, we're joined by Mr. Pradeep Kheruka, the chairman of Borosil Renewables. Hi, Mr. Kheruka. Always a pleasure having you on the show, and good to start off the new fiscal with you itself. Now, this appears like a good move done for your subsidiary. Could you tell us the total quantum of the loans that were taken by GmbH? What is the remaining debt post these repayments you've made to HSBC as well as HDFC Bank? Please go ahead, sir.
Good morning. So, thank you. This has reduced the overall debt exposure to the group, and we're down to a little over 300 crores now. Also, the sort of sword which was hanging over the head of GmbH has been removed. So we are the noises coming out from the European Union and from Germany in particular are very positive for domestic production of solar modules and all its components. So it's a matter of time. I think that they will be announcing policies which are going to spur growth of local production, which means good business for our subsidiary. Of course, none of this is yet in hand, and we are waiting patiently and with bated breath, and hopefully we will see good times there. But we don't know when. That is the question.
So the debt has come down to 300 crores, right? That's at the group level, right.
Yes, for the group, at the group level.
Got it. Right. What about the problem has been with regard to the operations, and as you're saying, there are a lot of factors at play. The commentary has been a little bit better in the recent past, but how do you see the the subsidiary turnaround? How do you expect the performance to pan out, say in the first half of this fiscal and in the second half?
You mean the anti-dumping duty, or when you use
the overseas subsidiary? Let's talk about the overseas subsidiary.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
So last year, the European Union saw installations of 65 gigawatts, which is huge, and there is no question it's visible around the world. Now the people themselves, meaning the markets and businesses, have latched on to renewables in a very big way. We've seen a robust growth in India. We're seeing robust growth in Europe. And now if by the 1st of January, 2026, it is law in the European Union that 30% of all installations must come from products that have been made within the EU, using components which have been made within the EU. So therefore, there is no escape from that. You will not be able to install a module which is imported from anywhere. It has to be made in the EU up to the extent of 30%. So I think that the writing is writ large on the wall, and we would definitely see good times ahead for the German subsidiary based on these indicators.
It was operationally loss-making, right? As of the last count, do you expect it to turn profitable?
It was operationally loss-making. Yes, that's true. The last quarter, we had cooled down the furnace on the 31st of December in order to stop the losses, and there was nobody to buy the glass, so we wouldn't know what to do with the glass once we had made it. So for that, we had large stocks which we have processed and sold in the meantime. So at the moment, it is quite lean, and we are exploring different options. And as soon as we see the sound of a new policy coming out, we are ready to light up the furnace and start. We have the workers in place. Everything is in place. So
when do you see it turning profitable, sir, this particular German subsidiary?
At the moment the production starts, it would start at a profit, I would believe.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just before we talk about the overall business, just a final hygiene question out of the way. Apart from this subsidiary, are there any other entities, your subsidiaries, where you have such a standby letter of credit facilities where you might have to make payments apart from this German subsidiary? Okay.
Nothing.
None others. None others. Got that. Now let's talk about the recoveries, what you were earlier alluding to, because we've been speaking so frequently in the last 1 year, right? And finally, that anti-dumping duty, the countervailing duty, all of that protection did come in. Yeah. So what has been the impact on ground? Have glass prices started moving higher? What's happening? Because you had guided that maybe Q4 should be much, much better. What's the recovery and where are we right now?
The recovery is at hand. which means that our selling prices are near the MIP, and we are manufacturing at 100% of our capacity. We are selling everything that we make. So I would say that it is functioning well, and all the portents are good. The demand is very high. There is, I must say, the decision by the government of India to impose ALMM, which has mandated the use of domestic modules for nearly every application here, has been a game changer for the entire industry. So I see module manufacturing rising. We just had the inauguration of a new cell manufacturing facility on Saturday, perhaps India's largest, and people are very buoyant, full of hope. And
so EBITDA break-even, sir? I mean, I'm going by what you said. It's a very important statement that now your prices have at least come back to parity at the MIP level, the minimum import price. So does this mean operations are positive at an EBITDA level now?
Operations are at a decent positive.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
we have. So we see all the signals are positive as of now, and we do not see anything on the horizon which might turn it, any other way. So it looks like a good runway going ahead.
Okay. All right. And we look forward to chatting with you and getting further details at the end of the Q4 numbers once you report it. But before we let you go, we have to talk about President Trump, right? He's talking about tariffs. Do you see any indirect impact on your business? Do you have any direct exposure to the United States? If you could fill us in with a few details, because tomorrow is supposed to be Liberation Day as per the way he has termed it. We'll hear about tariffs. The tamasha hopefully comes to an end. But tell us, what is the current exposure you have to the US, and could there be any kind of indirect impact on your business?
The indirect impact, if any, could only be positive. So there is a manufacturing ecosystem in the United States for solar modules. And it's no longer possible to import solar modules in the US from China, because there is the possibility that some of the cells may have come from Xinjiang province, and that is absolutely forbidden. So modules are coming into the US. They are being made in the US. We were one of the sellers of glass for those modules. If there is a stringent duty on imports from China and there is none from India, then we stand to gain. I really don't know where solar glass features in the list of the items which are subject to tariff. So if similar tariffs are imposed on India and China, then we are at par with China. In case they are imposed selectively on China, then we stand to gain. But we have nothing.
Solar glass definitely.
Any downward. I don't see any downtrend anywhere on account of any tariffs in this case.
Yeah. We'll find out. Thankfully, though, solar doesn't get mentioned too much. What gets mentioned is coal and oil and all the other rest of the stuff. Yeah, we'll see. Thank you very much. And I think it's an important point, right? I mean, if China, that's the other second-order impact, which you are very familiar with. And that is what many across industries fear. If China gets tariffed more, they may look elsewhere to sort of, in a way, dump excess capacity out of China across a lot of industries. And I think we've been discussing that as well. So we'll see how we respond to that. So it's a pretty dynamic kind of situation, not just, in your sector, but across the board.
I can say straight away that with a minimum import price in place, there is no question of any impact that any Chinese sort of adventure would have on us. As a matter of fact, the minimum import price has done something very good for the Chinese solar glass industry. I'm told that their prices are up by 20%.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So therefore, that is bringing our MIP has brought a ray of hope for the Chinese.
For the Chinese. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kheruka. It's always a pleasure. And we'll speak again once we know the details of this, the tariff business tomorrow. We'll take a quick commercial break here. We have the management of Intellect Design Arena, Arun Jain, with us on the other side. We'll be speaking with them about how the outlook is kind of sort of moved since we last spoke to Mr. Jain at the beginning of the quarter. Stay tuned. Coming up.